Yo guys, this is Al back again with another talk about One Piece. It has been 23 years since One Piece started and still gives us the thrill. One Piece still remained as one of the big three animes since history till now, and in fact, the most popular one. A lot of new anime has debuted, some are good, nice, and so-so, but no anime ever replaced One Piece's popularity. Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer almost did, but they were short-lived unlike One Piece that is almost as old as I am. Anyways, I am not here to talk about my age. I am here to talk about the most faved One Piece characters we all want to appear again in this series. And just so you know, this excludes those that have already reappeared like Rob Lucci, Marco, Katakuri. Also, this list only contains those that has debuted before the 2-year time skip. Let us start with this one. In our top 8, the 100 Plans Kuro, the captain of the Black Cat Pirates. We have to admit, this pirate was one of the most memorable enemy Luffy ever faced. He rose to infamy without devil fruit powers and scientific weapons, but only his cat claws and his signature move, Shakushi, or Stealth Foot. In fact, his Stealth Foot was the first ever superhuman skill introduced in the anime. Superhuman in a sense that it is not from a devil fruit, it is not from a weapon, but it is from a practiced and mastered skill, a skill that only involves the human body honed to perfection. Devil Fruit power was introduced in the very first episode of the anime, when Luffy unleashed his first Gomu Gomu no pistol. Then came the Marine Axe Arm Morgan without a Devil Fruit power, but without skills as well. Then Buggy the Clown with another Devil Fruit power, and then him, the Shakushi Master Kuro, a captain with a bounty of 16 million belly. Even after 3 years of non-pirating, he still retained his skills, and I want to point out that he is an extremely intelligent person, thus named 100 Plans Kuro. He is a master strategist who has never once before failed in his village raids. He was strategic and skilled enough to even trick the Marines his capture, deactivating his infamy and bounty, thus living as Lahador as a butler in Syrup Village, waiting for his plans to come to fruition. He also has this patience to execute a 3-long-year plan of gaining the trust of Kaya, Usopp's childhood friend, and assassinating her later, and that is even after the fact that Kuro despises being under a servitude of another person. That is one of the reasons why I included him in this video, because not everyone is able to endure a 3-year patience and determination to execute a plan and strong enough to master a skill to a certain degree. He's like Marshall D. Teach, who joined the Whitebeard Pirates just to get his hands on the Yami Yami no Mi, just weaker. I'm excited to see him again in action. That's if Oda has a plan on showing him again in the series. I'm excited to see what he has become. He's maybe tired of piracy, but he may have returned after his failure in gaining the riches of Kaya. So I am quite looking forward to what his skills has developed into. Has he gained a Devil Fruit power, the Cat Nomi model Panther or what? Or has he developed his stealth walk, making it superior to the Zoro of the CP agents? Top 7. Arlong the Saw. I know I am not the only one looking forward to the reunion of Arlong, Jinbei, and Nami. Arlong was the fisherman that killed Nami's foster mother, Billionaire. Jinbei was the one responsible for Arlong's piracy, and Nami and Jinbei are in the same crew. I know I am not the only one wondering, will Nami forgive Arlong after knowing that fishermen are discriminated around the world? Will Nami be able to have her revenge against Arlong with his new climb attack and Zeus? Will Nami be able to beat Arlong? There are a lot of questions running around Arlong and Nami, so it is quite exciting to wait for the reunion. On the other hand, has Arlong escaped Impel Down during Blackbeard's havoc? We all know he is imprisoned in Impel Down, one of Marine's fortresses, and Hachi was able to escape for yet to be known reason. Has Arlong been running around Grand Line then? He was once feared as the ruler of East Blue, so we might be surprised to see his progress, or has he even developed? What has changed in him? Has he joined another crew? Well, that's hard to realize since he hated humans so much. Is his hatred for humans still there? Has he turned over a new leaf? If he's escaped, could he be guarding Kokoyashi village instead as a repentance for his previous crimes? That was a wishful thinking on my part. Anyways, we will know the answers to these questions in his reappearance later. Well, I am sure he will reappear. After all, he is one of the key figures for the development of 2 of the main characters of the anime, Nami and Jinbei. Sixth in this list is him. No, not him, because I don't want to see his face again, but him, Jin the Demon. He was the right-hand man of Don Krieg with a bounty of 12 million belly. During his farewell to Luffy and Sanji, he was poisoned by the MH5 poison gas of Don Krieg, but I doubt that he died. One Piece is the type of anime that hardly has any death at all, unlike Attack on Titan that hardly has no death. In One Piece, deaths only happen to develop the main characters, just like in Nami and Bellymere, Zoro and Quina, Luffy and Ace, Momonosuke and Oden, and for Whitebeard, his death was apparent to pave the way for Blackbeard to rise in fame and be part of the big shots in the New World. So we can expect that this honorable man is still alive somewhere. I am honestly expecting for Jin to reappear together with Don Krieg, not because he said to Luffy and Sanji that they will meet again in Grand Line, but because I have this feeling that Jin and Don Krieg has a connection with these people. Yes, I think they have a connection with the Happo Navy of Kano Country. Let me enumerate it piece by piece. I don't know if it's just me overthinking things again, but I do find a semblance between these people to these group of people. His name is Don Krieg. His name is Don Chinjao. They're like commanders of their own fleet. His name is Jin, Jin, and they are Sai, Sai, and Boo, Boo. Their names are so simple, the same as the names of my neighbors who had this tradition to name their children simply as Karen. Kidding aside, another thing is this dragon insignia in Jin's jacket. This looks like a dragon. The country where Don Chinjao, Sai, and Boo are from is Kano Country, whose king has this dragon tattoo in his forehead. That's why I think Jin the Demon will reappear when Luffy's fleet captain Sai appears again, or when the Straw Hat Pirates arrive at Wano Country. Speaking of dragon tattoo, is Building Snake of Red Hair Pirates a resident of Kano Country? With all these dragon tattoos in his body, here and here, he somehow resembles the king of Kano Country, who has a dragon tattoo in his head. What do you think? Is Building Snake a royal? Anyways, I am really looking forward to seeing Jin again. After all, he is one of the strong and honorable pirates we've seen in the series. He's even able to stand his ground against the pre-timeskip Sanji. For the top 5, Worst Generation, Mad Monk Urouge. I included him in this list simply because he is the only member of the Worst Generation that hasn't revealed his cards yet. We all know that whenever a Worst Generation reappears, big incidents happen like law that led to the huge scramble of Straw Hat Pirates against the Don Quixote family, which later led to a bigger scramble against the Beast Pirates. Kaponigang Beje in Totoland that led to the full-plan assassination of Big Mom, which again later led to the scramble with the Beast Pirates as well. Then Kid, Apu, Hawkins, and Drake, key figures in the whole Wano arc story. The gathering of these worst generations, Luffy, Law, Kid, Zoro, Killer, Hawkins, X-Drake, and Apu, led to the defeat of Kaido and Big Mom, 2 of the 4 Emperors of the Sea and the most veterans of all pirates. Then Bonnie's reappearance and Egghead arc that opened the full war of Revolutionary Army against world government. So we are to expect that once Urouge reappears, the last of the worst generation, a big commotion will ensue, and the fact that he is from Sky Island might be related to it. Was he a survivor of the Birken incident where Enel wrecked havoc? We still do not know. We still do not know how he became a pirate, what's the reason behind his piracy, and what his powers really are. We only saw him fight during the struggle in Shabondi Archipelago, getting big and large to fight against the Marine Admiral Borsalino Kizaru. That's all, nothing more. His next reappearance was when Kaido debuted in this episode, where he jumped from the balloon terminal Sky Island. I am kinda excited to know what his reappearance will lead to. What skirmish will it be? Will it be something to do with moon people? With Uranus? Let us stop there and move on to our top 4. Dory and Brogie. They are the characters we all have been looking forward to reappearing. The captains of the Giant Warrior Pirates. The Giant Warrior Pirates was a pirate crew made up of giants from Elbaf that once terrorized the seas. And so, you can imagine how powerful the captains of the giants are. Even Big Mom has been trying to get her hands on giants to the point of hating her own daughter, Lola, after breaking her wedding with the prince of the giants, Loki. She even pursued her to the ends of the world to hunt her down. Now that the Straw Hats are on their way to the end of the New World, they are bound to reach Elbaf, the country of giants and warriors. So we are to expect that they should make their reappearance, right? Or would the Elbaf arc end without both Dory and Brogie? Nah, I don't think so. But since Dory and Brogie have been on the little garden island for hundreds of years, How will they reappear then? They don't have ships on Little Garden to carry them, do they? But we have these new giant pirates that are roaming around the world now, and that these two giants in Inya's lobby knew that their captains are still alive and kicking in Little Garden. So these two facts might lead to recovering the former giant warrior pirate captains Dory and Brogie. Anyways, I've always been looking forward to seeing the two giants again, since in the anime, they had very little screen time. Well, that's to be expected, since their debut was way back episode 721, and the anime back then was just building up the momentum, so it is understandable. But we should not forget that these two giants were so powerful that they once led a group of giants wreaking havoc in the seas. The Marines feared them till now. Even Big Mom's strongest attack, the Ikoku Sovereignty, was like the Hakoku Sovereignty that Dory and Brogie used to defeat the Island Eater giant goldfish. Let's just imagine that Dory and Brogie are two giant Big Moms side by side. Well, that's creepy. Our top 3 is Sentomaru. Yes, Sentomaru, the Vegapunk 8 that once defeated Luffy bare-handed. He was the captain of the Marine Science Unit, now a full-fledged Marine officer. I am actually thrilled on him meeting Luffy again since the last time they fought, Luffy was totally helpless. Sentomaru didn't even need to use his giant battle axe to fight against Luffy. The third time they met was in Shabondi, but they hardly had time to talk and fight. Unlike the first time Sentomaru obstructed the Straw Hats, Luffy and Sentomaru never got the chance to exchange fists after the 2-year time skip. So I am looking forward how big the gap is between them now. Their last fight was so one-sided that Luffy even tried to retreat, not knowing how Sentomaru is damaging his body, his rubber body. That was the time Luffy was still ignorant of the power called Haki. So now that Luffy mastered not just the basics but the advanced forms of armament Haki and observation Haki, it is kinda thrilling to see the reaction of Sentomaru on Luffy's advancement. Or is it the other way around? Also, this Sentomaru is bound to reappear since the Straw Hats are already in Egghead Island. I was even wondering why he hasn't reappeared yet, since he is the bodyguard of Vegapunk. But now, since Vegapunk was about to be captured by the CP0 led by Rob Lucci, how will Sentomaru join the fray? Will he be with the world government and capture Vegapunk, his leader? Or will he defend Vegapunk and side with the Straw Hats? I am even wondering, has he modified his body as well, like with Bartholomew Kuma? Has he eaten a devil fruit? I mean, he is in Egghead Island, the island of science, robots, cyborgs, and technology, and the laboratory of the devil fruit scientist, Vegapunk. Without temptation, how can he avoid getting enhancements from all these? That's for us to see in the next chapters. The top 2 is Crocodile, the leader of the Baruch Works, former warlord of the sea and user of the Sand Logia devil fruit. Some people are thinking that he is the weakest of all warlords of the sea, but I stand against it. Just because Luffy defeated him way back in Alabasta Arc by the pre-timeskip Luffy does not mean he is weak and is the weakest. I do not know why Oda did it, but during those times when One Piece was still at its early ages, Crocodile somehow looked weaker compared to the newly introduced warlords. But if we think about it carefully, no veteran pirate underestimated him even after his defeat against Luffy. The Marines still feared him, Doflamingo still sought after him, Dracule Hawkeye's Mihawk still formed an alliance with him, and the Emperors still respected him. It just so happened that Luffy needed a stepping stone and the warlord Oda chose was Crocodile. The poor Croco. The problem is that he is not just weak with seawater, seas, or sea stones, but also water. Like normal water, since his body is made up of sand. Normal water negates his Logia abilities, and that's how Luffy defeated him. You may all be wondering why I included him, since he has already reappeared in the New World. I included him in this list because he was one of the few One Piece characters that has shown direct interest in one of the ancient weapons, that is Pluton. And since Pluton was already located, I believe he is bound to reappear again, like reappear again. I am even thinking that who Karibu was referring to in this scene here is him, Crocodile. He really should not underestimate him. He was the first warlord of the sea that the main protagonists fought against. Luffy fought him 3 times until he is defeated. His encounter was the turning point of the Straw Hat Pirates. Even Doflamingo wanted him, and now that Pluton's existence has been revealed, and he has created the Cross Guild with Mihawk and Buggy, he is finally coming back to his feet. Also, now that the world has turned upside down after the fall of the most veterans of pirates, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Doflamingo, and Moria, he is one of the few, very few, veterans of their time that remain. And I'm sure I'm not the only one excited for his next big break. For our number 1, we have the most anticipated to appear in the series again, Enel. Yes, the god Enel. I am pretty sure we are all excited for his comeback. After all, he is, for me, one of the strongest. He is the user of the Goro Goro no Mi, one of the strongest Logia devil fruits, and a master of observation haki or mantra. By combining the abilities of his devil fruit to pick magnetic waves in the air and his advanced observation haki, he is capable of monitoring the whole of Skypiea, and that is a large scope and area for an observation haki to supervise. And I don't think there is any other capable of doing that. The Goro Goro no Mi is, I believe, one of the most superior devil fruits to ever exist. Enel can move as fast as the speed of light like Admiral Kizaru. His lightning abilities can burn things like Admiral Akainu, and his Logia abilities are as versatile as Admiral Aokiji. And the fact that his element is lightning makes him unequaled and unparalleled. His devil fruit is an energy itself, capable of running machineries and any products of science. He literally is a lightning and a god. It's just that he was so unlucky that he met his one and only nemesis in the world, Monkey D. Luffy, the user of Gomu Gomu no Mi. The user of mythical Zoan human fruit model Nika. He is just so unfortunate that of all the people he could encounter, he met the one and only person his lightning powers couldn't defeat. Do not forget, he one-shotted all his enemies, be it Zoro, Robin, Sanji, Wiper, etc. And the fact that he is electricity, One Piece world revolves around the ocean, and bodies of water like oceans conduct electricity, he could be the ruler of seas. Just imagine him electrocuting everyone in seas. Oda is just so elusive that he made this character Enel not pursue the title King of the Seas but King of Earth. It is so ironic actually. He has the powers to rule the seas with his lightning abilities, but he pursued Earth. Very ironic indeed. He pursued one of the things his lightning powers wouldn't work on, Earth. Anyways, I'm so excited to see his comeback. We all know he is currently in the moon, the place of his origin and all, so he might be one of the final opponents in the One Piece series, or he might be a future member of the Straw Hat Pirates, which we all hope to happen. So that's it guys, these are the top 8 pre-timeskip One Piece characters we all hope to reappear sooner. I hope you liked the video guys and look forward to seeing more videos like this cause I am so disappointed that the previous video I uploaded was blocked by YouTube. Bye guys and see ya!